Well, hello, everybody. We're back. I am Jay with Guilty of Crime. Come on, guys. Come on in. Hit that like button. You know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't. Get a membership if you can. What's up, Kathy? You're in the future, I see. It's already tomorrow. Happy Tuesday to everybody else. Happy Wednesday to Kathy. What's up, everybody? Come on in. Let's get hyped up. All right, I got my goal up there. You guys know the drill. I'm also going to give away this if we meet the goal today. I'm going to give out a Guilty of Crime shirt. I want to ship that with the Madeline Soto shirt so I can do it all at once. And then later on this week, I got a few really cool Madeline Soto things left. It's the Madeline Soto green and purple. It's got the tag on it, some handmade jewelry that is in the color it came from Florida, and it was in the Madeline Soto package with the t-shirt. So this is the last of the Maddie Soto accessories. All right. And we got the shirt going on. Baby Guilty screaming for me. One second, y'all. Right when I started, Baby Guilty's in the back yelling to let the dogs in. So one second, y'all. One second. All right, y'all. You know how we do. Yes, I get mom's the only one that has legs around here, apparently. All right, y'all. Let's get started. You know what I should do? I should do what all the other channels do. I should put y'all in a loop for 25 minutes. Just play some 80s and 90s music and make y'all wait for me. When's Jay coming? It's been 30 minutes and the music's still playing, and I don't even like the music. All right, guys, come on in. Like I said, we've got the goal up. Hit that like button. Today, we're talking about Anna Kepner on the Carnival cruise and what happened to her. I'm glad that we're on day 11 now, which we have a lot more information that's coming out. All right, so that's Anna's family. Those people were on the cruise with her, and that's her family. So now people are wondering and speculating that somebody or her brother or stepbrother's the one that did this. We'll talk about that. Let's put this one up because what happened to Anna? It's Kepner, but there's a misprint on that. Tiff, if you want to change that, it's not Kepler, it's Kepner. But if we don't change it, guys, it's Anna, Kepner, on the Carnival cruise. Sorry about that. So you can see her up there, a bunch of those pictures. She was real excited, guys, to go on this trip. 6-day cruise. Amazing. So much fun going to the Caribbean with your family. And look at what happened. So let me put this back up. I don't want to have the misspelling all over my episode, guys. So unfortunately, I'm not going to keep that up. But what I will do is I found a bunch of her social media posts and even some secret accounts that she has on Instagram, TikToks. She has several TikTok accounts. There's a main one, but I'm just gonna put the Instagram account up so you can see Anna Kepner. All right, I'll leave that up there for a minute while I tell you how things happen and how it unfolded. Go eat your sushi. Carly, get out of here. I'm glad that you blessed us with your presence today. So bow down to channel manager Carly's in the house. We'll see if she comes back after her sushi comes. All right. Now, listen, Nikki, I'm kind of glad that you didn't hear about this yet. Some people have, many people have, and things have been unfolding by the day. It's coming out, right? You hear there's this 18-year-old cheerleader that went on a carnival cruise and they found her dead. All right. Now, how did that happen? What was the toxicology report? What did the medical examiners say? Who did it? Right? When this first unfolded, they were saying that she took her own life. All right. So I started out doing research on this days ago, and today I ran across Fox News that was saying she possibly did a unaliving of herself. And I'm so glad that's changed now, because that's not the case, guys. And let me tell you why that's not even possible here. Now that I'm doing research, I'm really glad to hear that that's not possible. And the reason why mainly is because how can you stuff yourself under a bed? All right. Now, I'm going to tell you about her after I read this article. I want to tell you all about this cheerleader, Anna Kepner, who died on the Carnival cruise. She was found stuffed under a bed. All right. Now, this came out this morning on the 18th at 6:32 in the morning, right? Eastern time. And we're going to get into it. I want to show you who she is. So she put a video up so you can see her movements, what she did. I'll show you the obituary, and then we're going to go over, I love it, Joseph Scott Morgan. We're going to do it with Auntie Nancy Grace. Came on, is going to talk about all the stuff that I like to hear, and hopefully you do too. We'll make some sense out of something that doesn't make sense, all right? So call it what you want. I say it's a cruise ship horror. I mean, if you go on a cruise and you come back not alive, stuffed under a bed, well, that's not such a good time. Let me say happy birthday to Bree. Shout out to you. Happy birthday. You're almost a Thanksgiving gal. All right. So everybody's shouting out to Bree. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Bree. All right. SUI, but I know I wanted. No, they did say that. They initially said she took her own life. And then today they said no foul play, and now they're changing their mind. They didn't officially rule it as a no foul play, but now let's get into the whole thing because it's going to change quite a bit. So, guys, my internet's being weird today. They're putting my solar back up on the roof. So, if some reason I cut the power off, give me a minute to come back on. Yes, my roof. I said my roof. We finally got the entire roof done, but the solar has to be put back on it. It got taken off, put back on. So we're going to have a nice dry Christmas in our house this year. Woo! It's been almost 2 years since we've been putting the ceilings back on and getting a roof. So we might not have much of a Christmas, but it's going to be dry inside. All right. So, all right. Thank you. I see your message, Tiff. Thank you. Yeah. Amen. Amen for being house broke in California. Welcome to California. Where's Mab? All right, guys. Listen, let's get into this because it's going to be as long as the episode as it needs to be, but there's a lot of information. So for those of y'all rolling in, hit that like button. If you're new, don't forget to hit all the notifications. If you just rolled in, guys, we got to hit that goal today in order to keep the channel going. I put up a goal every day that goes back to the channel, to the Ghost platform, to all the things that we do and give away. All right. If we get that up there today, I'm going to give out a Guilty of Crime shirt, and I'm going to ship it tomorrow with the Madeline Soto shirt. All right. And then there'll be a 420 membership coming up. So if you guys want to gift memberships, all that, if we get to the goal today, I'll give out the Guilty of Crime shirt. We have Madeline Soto things left to give out this week. So let's get that goal, guys. All right. Let me tell you real quick. Or let's watch this for just a second. It's like 30 seconds and then we'll go. All right, we're not going to watch Dine and Dash. So let me read to you. I was giving myself a second. Barbie G, thank you so much. Choo, choo. We only have 9 more to go, y'all. What's up, Mighty Joe? And thank you, Barbie G, so much. What's up, ATS News? You're going to want to hear this, ATS, because this keeps changing. Let's go. Under Your Scars says we're so much closer to giving away Guilty of Crime shirt. Thank you so much. Listen, 18 years old, y'all, Florida high school cheerleader, died on a Carnival cruise, was found by a maid wrapped in a blanket and stuffed under a bed, according to the report. This was not her taking her life. And even though she was going through a breakup, guys, like you're going to see, she didn't take her life. And this was no accident when someone rolls you up, stuffs you under a bed at 18, right? 18 years old, she was discovered dead in her cabin November 7th while on a 6-day Caribbean cruise with her family. This wasn't a party, guys. This is the Carnival Horizon. But frustratingly, few details were released initially about her death, which led people to believe that she took her own life. However, two sources told the Daily Mail that the high schooler from Titusville was wrapped in a blanket, covered in life jackets, guys, and shoved underneath a bed when she was found dead. That's her. Anna Kepner died while on a cruise ship. All right. We're going to look at her social media. Anna told family members at dinner that night she wasn't feeling well and went back to her room, sources said. But there was no sign of her in the next morning when the family gathered for breakfast. So her family began to frantically search the massive ship with 4,000 passengers, but a maid discovered Anna's body when she went into her cabin to clean it around 11 a.m. After the grisly discovery, the ship changed course to the port of Miami in Florida. Now, that's her family picture that I have up there. And rumor has it that one of these kids that are there, one of the brothers, is the one that took her life, guys. All right. There's the ship. Now, the Miami-Dade County medical examiner lists her time of death, which is really weird, as 11:17 in the morning of November 7th, but doesn't know how she died. That's an oddly specific time for them to name and not even know how she died. Well, because this is a cruise ship and it's everywhere, right? FBI is handling the case because it's international waters. But has not provided details on how she died still. Now, her grieving father, Christopher Kepner, said last week about FBI taking over, and he's going to talk quite a bit. We're going to hear from her uncle today that has some pretty breaking news, and there's a lot of rumors in this case that are speculating what happened. So we're going to talk about that. He says, I have no idea what's going on. We're just trying to sit still and wait for answers. Anna, known affectionately by her family as Anna Banana, was set to graduate from Temple Christian School, guys, in May. All right. She's a gymnast and a cheerleader, and she had just finished her test to join the military, is what her family said. All right. She had currently broken up with a boyfriend, etc., etc. And so people are speculating that because of that, she took her own life. All right. Now, I want to tell you guys a little bit about that cruise ship and some of the deaths that do happen on it. There are quite a large amount of deaths significantly that happen per year on a cruise. And that's why I don't want to go on a cruise, y'all. I'm deathly terrified to be out on the water and not be able to get back to land after 6 or 7 days. All right, Janet Rowling, thank you so much for the super sticker and Midnight Lace. Choo choo. Who's with me? Yeah, you guys get to the goal. We're going to give out a Guilty of Crime t-shirt. I'm going to mail that out today. Yeah, Texas. But they were in Florida, and that's why the FBI took over this case. All right, now we're going to talk about different possibilities, etc., guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. But I want to, I'm going to play this first because it came out 3 hours ago. Glad you're bringing this case forward. I'm glad you're interested in this case because it's very interesting, Annie. Thank you so much. Let me tell you real quick. So that picture now speculates that somebody in her family did it. Now, Florida teen Anna Kepner. So I don't think Titusville, Florida. It was not Texas. I don't know Titusville. So when you said Texas, I shook my head. Anna Kepner is 18 years old from Titusville, Florida, was found dead while traveling on Carnival on a Caribbean cruise that departed from Miami and returned on November 8th after they found her dead. Now, Anna was aboard that with nearly 4,000 passengers during a 6-night Caribbean cruise. That ship has approximately 133,000 tons and is about 1,000 feet long. On an average, around 200 cruise ship deaths occur per year. All right. With Carnival, There's a portion of those, though the exact figures aren't publicly disclosed. Now, federal agents with the FBI Miami field office boarded the ship when it docked, and the agency confirmed that it's investigating the circumstances of the death. Right? A little bit about Anna, but let's listen to this and then I'll tell you more. Jamie, choo choo. I need to have a clip that does that. All right. I'm afraid to death of a cruise. So did somebody in that family take her life? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, friends. This is just all right. Let me tell you, 3 hours ago, I'm glad this stuff is coming out on the day that I decided to cover it. All right. Listen up.
You may recall 18-year-old Anna Kepner was on a cruise ship. They have now revealed who found Anna Kepner deceased. As you may recall, 18-year-old Anna Kepner was on a cruise ship with her family when she was found deceased. According to the medical examiner, Anna passed away on 11/7 at 11:17 a.m. Now, not only her uncle, but 2 additional sources have confirmed that she was wrapped in a blanket and covered in life jackets underneath a bed when she was found. They also stated that Anna told family members the night before at dinner that she was not feeling well and returned to her room. However, when family gathered for breakfast the next morning, there was no sign of Anna. Her family then began frantically searching the massive ship, which can hold nearly 4,000 passengers. However, when a maid entered Anna's cabin around 11 a.m. After cleaning the room, she then found Anna deceased under the bed. At this time, the FBI is manning the investigation over the case due to the fact that it occurred on international waters. However, Anna's father says that he has not been provided any details regarding her passing. Anna's uncle also took to social.
And I'm gonna show you this on X because of what the speculations and the rumors that are coming about. So I really do hope that they catch someone. I do think that this is absolutely something that was nefarious that happened to her. You don't wrap somebody in blankets and floating devices, right? And then put them under a bed. You can't do that to yourself. So thank you. Please thank Foxy Amazon if you received the Guilty of Crime membership, and Bree. It looks like we're going to get to that goal today. Thank you so much. And a happy birthday, my friend. All right, we're going to read that post after. I want you guys to see the rumors that are flying. Usually with rumors, there's a little bit of truth and a little bit of not.
Media and stated that it was her stepbrother who took her life. However, this has not been confirmed by any law enforcement sources. At this time, authorities have not mentioned any person of interest nor suspect in the case. The individual being referenced by the uncle in this statement is a minor, which could be why nothing has been released regarding the case at this time. To stay up to date on this case, make sure you click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think?
And yes, I agree with that. If that's the case, that I thought of that originally about her being derugged and then they followed her. But listen, they have cameras everywhere. How can you get away with that? Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna follow this case. My mom says happy birthday, Bree, and good to see you, Mom. All right, so let me switch this out for let me switch this one out for an X post. I just like having the latest up-to-date stuff, and I try to do research minutes before I start the episode to make sure I have all the information. All right, I'm gonna get one of those free memberships one of these days. Virginia swears. All right. What's up, everybody? Come on in, Carrie. Good to see you. I'm glad you want to know about this case. And listen, Carrie, if you have any information that comes out, please reach out to me right away and give it to me. I know you're there in Florida and usually find some really good information. So listen, I don't want to go on a cruise. After hearing this and many other cases, I'm scared to death. But listen, after all of this was said and done yesterday, Martin Donahue, which is an uncle. Listen, I'm going to read it to you. I need everyone's help on this. And I'm telling you, I need your help. He needs your help. FBI needs your help. Everyone does. If you haven't heard of this story, guys, then you have been living under a rock. This is my niece, Anna Kepner. She was 18 and was on a cruise with her dad, stepmom, and other family members. I cannot stay silent about this matter any longer. The stepmom's son killed her, stuffed her naked, beaten body in a sheet, and then stuffed her under a bed and covered her with life jackets. Trigger warning, guys, as usual on my episodes. Then he slept on the bed like nothing happened. He told his stepmom when no one could find Anna on the ship, That's what he told when nobody could find her. So they now know who did it, and it sickens me that the father, Chris, remains silent about it. Please pass this on till maybe it gets to someone that can do something about it. If nothing's done, it will all come out on the 20th. That's 2 days. At least that's what the stepmom has said after treating family. If they talk before that, they will be banned from remembrance of Anna. Now, I'm going to show you that obituary as well. That's happening on the 20th, you guys. Please pass this so my family can get the closure and the people who did this and lied and staled to tell the rest of us what happened when it did. Now you just look guilty of a cover up. Now, remember, this is the uncle because he's talking about it being his niece. And he's saying that her stepbrother got her naked, beat her to death, and then put life jackets and sheets and wrapped her up, stuffed her under the bed, and then slept on top of the bed like nothing happened. I mean, that's disgusting enough as it is, guys. But I mean, if this is a rumor that's going around, don't you think that somebody wants to investigate this a bit more? I mean, I do. I think they need to look into this a lot more. What is up, Matilda? Member for 2 months, praying all the truths come to life as well. All right. Yeah. I mean, that's just all coming out right now about the beaten body and the family members that are involved in it, guys. So when I put this back up, those are the people that she was on vacation with. And it says there, who is the red rummer? Is it Andrew or Timothy? Her stepbrother's stepmom's son. All right, this is the investigation, and this is Anna Kepner, who was found deceased. Okay, now we don't know. We don't know. Yeah, I would divorce and get rid of all of them and get them arrested as well, but we don't know, and that's what we're digging into. So this is now swirling speculations. And then I want to show you the last post, one of the last posts that she made. And this was about the breakup. It made it into the news, but I wanted to show you myself. All right. I wanted to show you. I wanted to find her TikTok and show you. Let's see. Is there music? I hope not. If it is, this music. All right, I'm gonna lower. This is one of her last posts, and she talks about her breakup, being disrespected, being lied to, cheated on, manipulated, played. I was always have a smile on my face and a kind heart. I don't know why I've been through what I've been through, but I can promise you I never deserved it. I am mad at those people for what they did to me. No. Am I upset? Yes. But at the end of the day, we're all humans that make mistakes. I'm glad I went through what I did because it makes me realize what I don't want in my life. At the end of the day, I pray that one day y'all will learn what y'all did was wrong. And don't do it to anyone else because no one deserves to be treated like that. All right. So the reason I'm not playing the music, obviously, is because, well, I don't want to play music and get the video to stop, which is what will happen. So this is Anna's TikTok. This is 10 hours ago asking for help. This is obviously not her, but it was Martin posting it with a picture of her. And this is actually Anna Kepner's TikTok. All right. Another mom. Wait, what? Another poop. I'm not sure what's happening here. I'll get back to that in a minute. And I'm giving away a t-shirt today if we make the goal. All right. So let's just take a little look at her TikTok. She has 13,000 followers. She has some other accounts too that are separate, but we're gonna take a look at hers. I just want you guys to kind of see who she is, how she moves. She had a lot of views on this, 224,000 views, and most of them have music. So I can't play them, but you can see you deserve to be happy. But if it ain't with me, then never mind. And you got a lot of people on here that are saying that you didn't deserve this. Rest in peace, Anna. You know, people are really upset about this case. All right. Okay. You're vibing with the mom knew. Okay. All right. I really hope the mom didn't know, but if she did know, she didn't know, she probably does now, and they're keeping it a secret. Oh my goodness, $2 from Abby Poodle. Thank you for getting us one step closer to the goal. All right. So Anna Fleming died way too soon, guys. This is not, I don't even want to think about this or ever imagine having to go through this. Well, that's her. That's how she moves, y'all. And I can't play the music. Thank you, Abby. And again, we're digging all into this. May she rest in peace, guys. Say a quick prayer for her that she does get the justice she deserves. All right. She's a beautiful young lady. Her life was just starting. And who was she? She's a people person. She was in athletics. She began gymnastic at 2 years old. All right. And then later joined her high school varsity cheerleading team. She's 18 years old, a senior from Temple Christian School from Titusville, Florida. Kepner was a member for high school varsity cheerleading, and she even had a scuba certification boating license as well, guys. This is the kind of daughter that you would want. I want my daughter to be. I strive to be. Her family described her as a people person involved in athletics. She was planning to join the military right after graduation. Now, remember, she was 18. Christopher is her dad, or her real dad, Christopher Kepner, stepmom, Chantel Kepner, mom, Tabitha Kepner, and then Barbara and Jeff Kepner are her grandpa and grandma. Siblings Andrew, Tim, Alex, Connor, Cody, Kylie, and Brooke. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. Now remember, they have a specific time of death at 11:17 in the morning, which really it bothers me quite a bit that they have that time, but they don't know how. It is a great loss. So let's say a prayer for her and her family that we get the justice. She gets the justice. It's an interesting part. I've only been to the part of Florida where Disneyland is. All right. I don't mess with Florida too much, but I definitely want to go and meet a lot of you guys and go to Universal. All right, so I'm just going to show you quickly her Instagram. A lot of people are on here. This was she was talking about 6 weeks ago, senior pictures 2026, guys. She didn't make it. All right, people are saying she deserved to die because she was a Trump supporter. People are awful. And then there are other people that rest in peace, heaven gained an angel, a lot of heartfelt messages, and then a few assholes per usual, right? So that's her Instagram, Anna.Kepner16, if anybody wants to look that up. Just a beautiful young lady, birthday cruise with her grandparents 28 weeks ago, guys. It seems like they went on cruises and did a lot of family things. All right. I mean, beautiful young lady. Her hair is black here, sometimes or brown, sometimes it's blonde. Doesn't matter. Beautiful young lady. And guess what, guys? She's no longer with us. And she won't be because somebody took her life that was real close to her, I believe. All right, let's take a look at her obituary and then we'll get into a lot more details. All right. Yes, I want to meet you, Allie Callie. But you're in Cali and I'm in Cali, so we're good to go. All right, there's her obituary, guys. That shouldn't happen. Wesley Irk, good to see you. Always prayers for you. Corinne, good to see you. Or Corrine. Yeah, you guys say a prayer. Empty chair at Christmas. But what if it were her family? What if it were her family? How's Christmas going to be then? Now, listen, she was born June 13th, 2007, and she died November 7th, 2025. June 13th, those are my Geminis. All right. June 13th is actually my wife's birthday on June 13th. May this young lady rest in peace. All right. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm going to drop a link for you because if you're in Florida, you're actually invited to go to her memorial, to her what have you. Angel of Light, good to see you. Jan Johnson, everybody rolling in. There's her obituary. You guys can send flowers, plant a tree. There's a tribute wall. They go on to talk about her positivity and how much they love her. What I talked about: boating license, scuba diving, a Christian whose faith blossomed. Right? There's a lot in here. Goes on to talk about celebration of life that's coming up this Thursday, November 20th at 5 p.m. The Grove Church in Titus, Florida. So if you guys are in Titus, Florida, or you're close to this case, you're a family member, or you just want to send some love, go over to the link I dropped and show some support and some love, send some flowers, what have you. Whatever you want to do, there it is. she's gone way too soon. Now, Allie Kelly, I can't even speculate what him being jealous of her or any of that. More than likely, what I'm thinking was the fact that she was naked and beaten was some kind of actual assault may have happened after she was derugged, and then she got beat to death, wrapped up, and stuffed under there. I don't know about the 3 stepmoms, but you guys can fill me in because we got a lot more to go. All right. Now let me put that back so you can see about the stepbrothers. All right. So there she is bending down. She's not taller than the brother in the back. They're the one that's the tallest to the left, but it doesn't matter who's tall, who's not. Nowadays, people are being charged at 9 years old, 10 years old for red rumming others. All right. She was absolutely a beautiful lady and was gone way too soon. Titusville is right outside of Orlando, right next to a big cruise live port. Okay. Kennedy Space Station. Thank you. All right. You say you think the stepbrother had a. That's what I think, Squeaky Will. I'm going to leave it up there for a minute. Thank you for saying that. That's my assumption, but it's only an assumption and it's only speculation, guys. I would never want to give you guys anything more than that. Now, I'm going to drop this down real quick about the few more answers from 3 days ago because it kind of gives a little bit of timeline, and then we're going to go on with Auntie Nancy, like Foxy likes to call it. And I love the fact that Joseph Scott Morton gonna break down a bunch of things and we get to do this together. So let me pull this down. I'm gonna just give you a quick few more answers and then we'll move on. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Come on in and hit that like button. We're almost at our goal. We're going to give away a Guilty of Crime shirt. And, well, it just keeps the channel going. So thank you. Let's listen.
Details today about the teenager from Titusville who was found dead on a cruise ship.
The FBI is still investigating, but here's what we know so far. The medical examiner in Miami-Dade County lists Anna Kepner's time of death as 11:17 a.m. on Friday, November 7th. The Carnival Horizon stopped at Port Miami nearly 24 hours later on Saturday morning. The big question still remains: how did Anna die?
And Anna's family is not alone as they wait for answers. Fox 35's Esther Bauer joins us live on that story tonight. So, Esther, you're hearing exclusively from a woman whose daughter died on board a cruise ship 2 decades ago, and she says she still doesn't know what happened there.
John, Jamie Barnett said she had no idea how hard it would be to get information from both the cruise line and the FBI after her daughter died back in 2005 while on a cruise ship. Just like,
and guys, there's a lot of talk about deaths on a cruise ship and even comparison. So think twice before you book that next cruise, or think twice about when you're out on a cruise line and some thing like COVID comes, or you got some serial red rummer on there. Just be afraid. I don't want you to be that afraid, but I'm afraid. Screw a cruise. Sorry, but not sorry.
Anna's case we're seeing right now, the FBI got involved immediately. Jamie says this family is going to have to fight for the truth to come out.
No, not yet.
Today marks 1 week since this Titusville teen died on a cruise ship. The Miami medical examiner just releasing her time of death, 11:17 in the morning, while she was sailing on the Carnival Horizon.
It's brutal, and I just can't get them out of my head.
Jamie Barnett hasn't stopped thinking about the Kepners because she shares their grief. Her daughter Ashley also died on a Carnival cruise.
I know what hurdles this.
You're going to hear about more today that have never been solved. My mom, the last time I saw my mom, we talked about a cruise and she's like, I'd like to go on a cruise. And I said, no, Mom, no, don't worry. We'll drive you around, Mom. You come, we'll take the RV, we'll stay on land. Mrs. Guilty will drive us around VIP and we don't have to be on the water. Okay, deal. Yes, Mom, let's go. Screw a cruise. I'm not getting on a boat. Sorry. Not sorry.
Family is going to have to jump through.
Jamie says investigating cruise deaths are extremely complicated.
Nobody realizes the difference that a victim or the victim's families of someone who is the victim of a crime or unusual or suspicious circumstances at sea goes through as versus what someone on land would have to deal with.
Jamie says the
And this can't be any kind of thing that was planned, because nobody would be stuck on a cruise ship and do something like that 24 hours after boarding a ship. All right. Now, listen, Carrie, you always get me going on these subjects. She's talking about Israel Keys. Do you guys know about Israel Keys, guys? Israel Keys would go around the United States. He lived in Alaska. He would fly from Alaska to other states. He had a kill bucket that would have different kind of tools and GUNs and gloves. He would kill somebody, get back on a plane, go back to Alaska. Well, the last time he went to Alaska and he had the urge to rob and kill, he was in Alaska and he did it right in his own hometown. They caught him on camera. He took the girl. He couldn't finish doing the job, so he freaking left her in his house for weeks. Not only did he do that while he was on a cruise or on vacation, but he sewed her eyelids open and he put makeup on her and took a picture and sent it into the newspaper and was trying to get money from the family, and she was already dead. If you don't know about the Israel Keys case, you should. Thanks, Carrie, for that brief interruption. All right, let's keep going.
isn't regulated.
You know, it's almost lawless territory on the high seas.
And the only enforcement on the high seas is cruise ship security.
There's no independent police on a cruise ship that's going to investigate thoroughly.
Jamie also struggled to get investigators to tell her anything about what happened to Ashley.
Every time I would talk to the FBI, the standard comment was, "Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Barnett, we can't comment on that. That would jeopardize the integrity of the investigation."
Do you think we're ever going to know what happened to this teen?
Unless people like you keep doing what you're doing by bringing the story to light, that could very well be the scenario.
Anna's family is getting ready to lay her to rest and asking everyone to remember Anna.
And guys, I'm very suspicious at this time that they're gonna find the person quick. See, Michael says it was her family, but how much closer can you get to a person when you slept in that room with them dead under the bed? Are you telling me that nobody saw a camera with her going in and someone coming after her? You can't tell me that. Yeah, you could walk outside your house. That's true. All right. Ice Blue Roses. Thank you for the $2 super sticker towards our goal. Well, anyway, I'm going to skip Carnival and you're going to see why in a little bit.
Anna with laughter, color, sunshine, and love in her obituary as they wait for answers on what happened to Anna.
And my heart goes out to them like no other parents would.
And Anna's celebration of life ceremony is
that's gonna be on Thursday, the 20th. Now let's get into Aunt Nancy. So we have some time to talk and fill in the blanks. And also, you guys are gonna hear about other similar deaths in the case, or not similar in the case, not in this case, but on the Carnival cruise. So I mean, go on a cruise, but maybe skip Carnival. I think Carnival is one of the most affordable ones, which means that they pack the most amount of people on there with the least amount of security and the least amount of cameras with the most amount of alcohol and tell you to go for it. But that can't be the safest thing to do, y'all. Just saying. And good to see you, Ice Blue. Good to see you, everybody else. Come on in, chill out, relax. We have some time. All right. Why would step siblings be sleeping on the bed? Well, when you go on a cruise, many times there, especially on a budget cruise, you get a tiny room with some freaking bunk beds. You go on a bunk bed, you barely slide into the bunk bed, and the next person's right on top of you. All right, now, unless you have mucho dinero, then you get your own room and you have a big bed and you don't have bunk beds. But otherwise, guys, you're stuck in some little tiny bunk beds under some boiler room shit that's hot and you can hear the engines running. Just saying. I'm saying I would skip Carnival, and you'll see why here in a bit. Let me drop this down, and Auntie Nancy can tell you why, and some of these other folks here. Joseph Scott Morgan. And yes, she's just a baby, y'all.
She's a baby. This little girl should be on her way to college.
Yep.
A loving wife and mom falls over the edge and the boat doesn't even go back to look for her. How is it so many people keep dropping dead on cruise ships? Breaking news tonight, a gorgeous little teenage girl cheerleader dead on a car.
And this just came out last night. I love the fact that Auntie Nancy always says breaking news even when it's not. All right. Foxy says that 411 barely fits on a bed. How small are they? What do you mean? I don't want to sleep on no bed in a freaking Carnival cruise with a bunch of real Caribbean. I'm sure it's much better food, but being packed like sardines is not my jam. I'd rather have a motorhome that has, you know, a lot of room with less people than to be packed and stuck on some water. And when you listen here, you know what I'm saying? When you listen up and you hear all the different deaths, well, yes, they were sharing a room. There's no way they weren't. You're not going to take your family on a cruise and not share a room unless you have mucho dinero, my friends. All right. They're expensive.
Carnival cruise ship tonight, the FBI joining the investigation. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
18-year-old Anna Kepner, a brilliant straight-A student from Titusville, Florida.
Now, the reason we said that they're sharing a room is, listen, because she was found no longer alive, naked, bruised, and wrapped in sheets and life jackets stuffed under a bed. The next morning, the one of the brothers or stepbrothers was sleeping on the bed above her. So they're absolutely going to be sharing a room. Yeah, there's not even room under the bed, but there was room under a bed because guess what? That's where they found her. All right, I'm with you. If I want out, I can't get out. I agree. Can't do it, won't do it, not doing it. I don't care. We're going to get into all that right now. I wish they had pictures of all that. I really do. Go on a cruise and gamble. Free cruises for foreseeable future. No thanks. See, Michael, I'll take your word for it and I'll pass. Mrs. Guilty, we need you to drive us around.
Florida embarks on what is meant to be a celebratory cruise marking the end of her high school journey. This trip is supposed to be a joyful escape, unaware of what is to come.
This little girl was a high school cheerleading star, a star in so many ways. She had all A's.
We already went over this. Let's go a little bit
dropping more. Dead on cruise ships. Look at her. She's a baby.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she is. And I was looking through her TikTok last night. I have a daughter around the same age, and you see just how young and full of life she was with the dances going on this cruise with her grandmother, loving to do that. I even saw on her TikTok her dancing with her grandmother, full of life, her grandmother calling her Anna Banana, so much ahead of her. And really what happened? That's what we're trying to piece together.
Susan Hendricks. We have taken the twins on a lot of cruises, okay? Like 4.
Have y'all ever seen The Deadliest Catch? I wouldn't do that if you paid me an X amount of money. If you watch The Deadliest Catch, these people are freezing and almost dying every day. So when Patricia from New York says she went on a Carnival cruise and it was like The Deadliest Catch except for the crab, I'd say skip the Carnival cruise, guys, because you're fighting for your life. All right, the boat moves. You're in this little tiny twin bed. You got the engines on top of you, shit stuffed under. Don't do it. Get an RV. Take a flight. Don't do it. Now, they didn't release any information. They did release the medical examiner. We're going to talk about all that, but just listen up here. But I hope they don't do that either.
5. Disney cruises. That's my comparison. A Disney cruise, where everything is in a controlled environment. I guess you could, I wouldn't, but you could let your children run wild. But I just don't understand how.
That's what we were gonna do was the Disney cruise. That would be the only thing. And then I realized, but I'll still be stuck on a boat. Let's go a little bit more forward because I just want to get into the details and the forensics and things like that. Not all the stuff I already told you.
A good thing when you have the FBI picking through your trash and going over your movements. Joining me there on the scene is private investigator Robert Crispin. He is joining us at the Port of Miami, where so many cruise ships depart, including this one. He is the owner and founder of Crispin Special Investigations, but that's just part of his story. He was with the former federal task force officer, U.S. Department of Justice, DEA in that jurisdiction, Miami Field Division, former homicide.
And these guys are going to talk about next step of what's going to happen. Joseph Scott Morgan's going to break some stuff down. Yeah, they do have Disney cruises, but I don't trust the sitters and I don't trust the cruises. That's why I have Mama Pearl. Mama Pearl is coming with us to Crime Con, and Mrs. Guilty is driving us there. That way, Baby Guilty can come, and Mama Pearl can watch her. All right, so that, I got the setup. Screw a cruise and a sitter. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Let's listen in.
Crimes against children. He's at CrispinInvestigations.com. Crispin, this is right up your alley. But I can't stress it enough. Yeah. In a moment, I'm going to go to our friend, Joe Scott Morgan, on this. Robert, they can't, do they know their tail from a hole in the ground? A cruise ship investigating a potential homicide, and they don't even get the time of death, even the day of death? Right. Do you know how many witnesses are now lost forever because they didn't get the TOD, time of death?
And see, I didn't even realize
death down. 24 hours plus, Crispin.
That's what I wanted to say. How is it that they got there on the same day and she died that morning? So they had to have gotten that incorrect. You say, I was on this cruise and it happened on the 8th deck where Anna's room was. I believe her room was 83483. Well, thank you, Criv. I put up a short earlier of them bringing her body out from that cruise ship. So thank you for filling us in. Just imagine being on an 8th deck, all right, and 8,343 with 4,000 passengers on it. Just think about that, all right? And then them trying to, then them giving you the wrong time of death, which is oddly specific. All right, guys. Also, do me a favor. We're over halfway to our goal. Gift a membership, get a membership, super chat, super sticker, and I'm going to give away the Guilty of Crime shirt. We still have another 30, 45 minutes. Let's go.
Who was with her on 11/7? We don't know. What was she doing? What did she eat? What did she drink? Did she leave on a port adventure? It's all gone, Crispin.
All right, Auntie Nancy.
Yeah,
come on.
Listen, this is why the FBI is involved. And when you get 12 nautical miles off the coast, pretty much up the entire coast,
it's
international waterway. And the problem is these types of cases, Nancy, at sea are an issue for the FBI. Why? Because the problem with these cruise ships are they're crime scenes that are moving constantly. If you have evidence that was discarded out, it's in 5,000 feet of water. That's the problem for the FBI.
Joining us, an all-star panel to make sense of what we're learning tonight, straight out to death investigator, professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University, the author of Blood Beneath My Feet. And you can hear him.
All right, we want to hear about
mentioned earlier, has she ingested anything? What kind of meals did she take on board? Who was she hanging out with on the ship? Was there anybody that could have slipped her something at some point in time? Did she have access to alcohol when she's in international waters? So all of this works out to be just an absolute nightmare scenario. The upside here, though, I think if there is any, is that when they put in.
And remember, just the year before, she was on a cruise with her grandma and grandpa, which is very sad to see her on the ship dancing, and you could see the boat outside. Everything was well. And thank you, Amethyst, for saying that. And you're right. Listen, I don't know about that ship, but I do know about ships in general. And you say if it was 8343, it was an interior. It was an interior room with 2 twin beds. and 2 pull-down beds if used. So it was a max of 4-person room. But remember, guys, it's a tight fit. You walk in, you pull it down, you sleep, and you put it back up to move around. Thank you for that. All right. It's a real tight fit. Kathy, thank you for getting us closer to the goal. And thank you for the gifted membership. All right. I don't like people's own laws. Just saying. Not digging that.
To Miami. And Miami-Dade has one of the finest medical examiner offices in the country. So they are going to be working this case from a medical legal perspective. And we're talking about toxicology. And we're also talking about a physical examination here, because we want to try to rule out, if we can, any kind of trauma that might be there. That's one of the reasons we're waiting. We don't have a COD yet, but they're also waiting on tox, and therein might lie the answers.
Joe Scott, this is a morbid question, but it must be asked.
Morbid, guys.
Where are dead bodies stored on a cruise ship? They actually have a location for them.
Ooh.
Yeah, they do. Having worked in New Orleans for many years, a major port, I worked several cases coming off of ships, everything from tankers to cruisers, you name it, even out on oil platforms. There are locations where bodies can be stored. Sometimes they're referred to as a cool room. Other times
I'm glad they stopped this right away. So if you were on that cruise and you were day 6, you were on a 6-day cruise, and on day 2 somebody dies, they're gonna stop that ship. Of course, they're gonna hold the body, stop it, and then do what they do. But that's scary to even think about as well. I'll show you that in a bit.
Actually had remains that were placed into a literal deep freeze. And so it's going to vary from structure to structure, or from platform to platform. With a cruise ship, though, they have a dedicated area most of the time. And that's a big issue, Nancy, because in the medical legal world, we want to try to put the body into stasis in death, so that you're not going to have any kind of degrading of the remains, because that's going to compromise evidence as well. And how well was the body protected? I begin to think about elements like trace evidence. It drives me nuts thinking about this, because you're going to have people that are unversed in this area. They're going to be handling her remains. And this is your primary bit of evidence here. I'm not being disrespectful to the dead, but and I know that that's the issue here. You have to protect this body at all costs, because therein lie all of the answers.
Joe Scott Morgan joining us, death investigator with literally thousands of death investigations under his belt. Joe Scott, you just said the condition of the...
Yeah, I didn't watch this yet. So if you guys did, let me know. I filled you in. Go back if you don't know about this case at all. Go back and watch the beginning. Yeah, they do have a morgue on ships. But that's creepy. That's still creepy. There's one other reason. So crazy it took so long to find her. What do you mean it took so long to find her? I'm pretty sure they found her right away. They couldn't find her, and then they did. Did I miss something? All right, Jamie, let's keep the choo-choo train rolling. Choo, choo. I want to show you something too, guys. So I posted this earlier, and this shows them taking her off the ship and putting her into the, I guess it's the corner that picks her up, right? All right, on the ship, I did a tour. The morgue was next to the jail. And that's crazy too, that they have a jail on the ship too. Right? Carrie's saying that. Emma is saying that. I've never been on a cruise, and I'm glad now. Thursday had to be the last time she was seen. Friday she was found. So it didn't take long for them to find her. And she was found stuffed under the bed. You can put stuff under the bed. That's what they use it for. But they stuffed her under the bed. All right. So you can't take your own life and then wrap yourself up and stuff yourself under the bed. So that killed it right away. First, they ruled it a possible unaliving of herself. Let me show you something real quick. I'm just going to bring this down for a second, because I do want to show you what I posted earlier. And again, it's creepy and scary, but look at as they bring her out of the ship. Check this out. There's no sound on it, but they brought her out of the ship and they're putting her into the medical examiner's van, right? I mean, I don't even want to imagine being on that boat. or being on that ship. You see, they brought her down from the bottom. Probably, maybe that's just the way to get out underneath, or maybe where they keep the morgue, and then they bring her straight down into the medical examiner. So that's wild. I don't know if anybody was on this ship. If you saw that, how scared would you be to see that scene and know that somebody that you might have possibly ran into on the ship or known was that person being brought out? All right, so let's get back. I just wanted you to see, and it blew my mind to even see that. Again, I don't know. It's disgusting, and I really hope that they get a handle on who it was. If it was her family members, arrest them.
The body. Let's just think for a moment. You know how small the cabins are on these cruise ships. Think of her. She's basically in a tin can in a closed room in the Caribbean, hot as HELL. You know the implications that has for a.
Now, I've been catching up on this case all the way up until I was streaming, and I didn't see them saying the stepbrother facing charges, but there are speculations that the stepbrother is the one that did that. But I haven't seen anything about them charging anybody yet. So I do hope that that's true, Miss Yamas, and they have somebody in question, because I bet you'll get them to break real quick. Now, they didn't look at that. That's her family members, and those are stepbrothers included. Because they're minors, they're not releasing their full information, ages, all that. But I'm sure we'll find out soon, because every day something more and more is happening, and FBI has taken over this case because of the international waters. All right.
Dead human body. You lose evidence with every minute that ticks by.
Yes, you do. And that's one of the major problems, particularly when you begin to think about her tissues. And just let me kind of lay this out. There are going to be three, the body in total is going to be examined, her body will. But there are three major areas you're looking at anatomically here with a person this age that suddenly passes away: the heart, the lungs, and the brain. And so you want to be able to preserve those so that you're not going to have any decomposition or degradation of the body.
I just want to say hi to Mab. Mab, I was calling for you earlier. I was talking about being in California, specifically the Bay Area, and being house broke, right? You know how it is to be house broke in California, all right? Especially the Bay Area. Now back to our show. All right.
To the point where it's going to compromise any kind of evidence that you can recover that rests therein. That's why it's so important to be able to keep her remains so that they are as intact as you possibly can until the ME in Miami can retrieve the remains and examine them as they should be examined.
Yep.
Joining us now, Spencer Ehrenfeld. He is the lawyer for the family of Dulcie White, another woman that dies at sea. He is known as the cruise ship lawyer, and for a reason. He takes on these seemingly impossible cases and actually wins them, not on behalf of the cruise ship, on behalf of the families. Spencer, I wouldn't trust a cruise ship investigator as far as I could throw them. Not that they're evil people. I mean, for Pete's sake, they don't even have the right day of death, much less time.
And thank you for clarifying that about when they found her body and then when you were docking. All right. You guys are now, I love that. Now we're all talking about just being broke, right? Mab, are you going to win Turtle Island tonight or what? You're not going to get kicked, are you? All right, guys, we're almost to our goal, or maybe we met it. Let me know if we hit our goal yet while we continue, and then we're going to give out a Guilty of Crime shirt. And yes, we're going to get Mab to Turtle Island to win it, and he's going to give me that belt. I'm going to have that championship belt one day. I don't care about the money. I was going to donate the money to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I just want a belt with my face on it that says Guilty of Crime. I'm not vain or anything, am I? I'll let you guys answer that to yourself. That's a rhetorical question.
Of death. We had to get a medical examiner in the States to give me a time of death. I mean, really? If they can't even do that, did you hear Joe Scott Morgan? He's the professor of forensics describing what all has been lost because of their ineptness.
I'm just broke.
Nancy, the security officers on cruise ships are really nothing more than glorified mall cops. Most of them have little to no training in law enforcement, in forensics.
And listen, most of those guys just go around trying to hook up with the ladies. I'm just saying. I was supposed to go on a Halloween cruise when I was younger, but I was only 20, and it turns out they were 21 and older, so I wasn't able to go. But now guess what? I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't go, all right? Because it's a booze cruise, and I'll just skip the cruise and go for the booze, all right? And yeah, not you. Your heart's too big to be self-centered. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Mom says I'm broke as a joke. We all are, Mama. We all are. I'm so broke. I can't pay attention. Bum. And Creve, yes, bless your heart for being on your first cruise and this happening. My goodness.
Investigation. This is one of the primary problems that people have on cruise ships is they expect that they're actually being guarded by a police level security force. These are men and women, primarily from the Philippines, from Indonesia, who could have been a bartender, could have been a dishwasher, but they got a job on the security force.
Stop, please stop. Okay. My ears are bleeding. You've made my ears bleed. Did you say the cruise ship
He's actually making my ears bleed too, because this mofo's yelling. I lowered it like 100 points. Bring it down, guy. I can't bring you down enough.
Investigators were a bartender back on the island, and now they're the investigator on the cruise ship?
Yeah.
The entire training they've had in being a security guard is generally the training that the cruise line gives them. They're recruited in these countries, and they apply for different positions.
Reason 1026 not to go on a Carnival cruise, just saying. And my dogs are saying hello to you, by the way. All right. Teresa, thank you for that super sticker and bringing it home. All right. Inside voice guy. Even I know how to whisper, and it's hard. Trust me. This girl was gone. Listen, Anna Kepner is gone way too soon, guys. Way too soon. This is just not fair. I really hope if this were a stepbrother and the families involved in any way, that they turn him in and do the right thing.
And if they get a job in security, then the cruise line trains them themselves. They usually have no military background.
You're killing me.
So
you just gagged me. Wait a minute. I just opened a whole can of worms right there. You're hearing Spencer Ehrenfeld talking, the cruise ship lawyer. Joe Scott, do you know how hard I had to train to go on crime scenes as a district attorney, an assistant district attorney? How hard did you have to train to be a death investigator? And now I got a bouncer from some bar from the Caribbean, and that's the cruise ship security? That's the investigator?
Yeah, and here's another piece. If you like that one, let me give you this one as well.
We
work in a world now in forensic science where we're talking about molecular evidence now. So,
yes, Mr. Mab, you should cover this case too, because really it's still a mystery right now. First, she died, and they originally said that she potentially took her own life. Now it's coming out that the uncle's saying that it was one of her stepbrothers that were on the cruise with her. Now, listen, Mab, she was 18 years old. She was about to graduate. She was going to go to the military. She was a cheerleader, dancing, all that. She had a full life for being 18. And they found her stuffed under a bed, wrapped in life jackets and sheets, allegedly naked and beaten, while her stepbrother laid on top of that bed all night long. And then in the morning they found her. Yeah, Nancy yells too. I yell too sometimes, but then I hear myself and I say, bring it down. All right, there you go. I'll leave that up there for a minute. Next person to donate towards a goal, Jamie will match, and then we'll give out a guilty of crime shirt. All right, we'll try to lower our voices.
To my colleague's earlier point, where there's no manner of death ruled at this point in time. If we're talking about a homicide here, we start to get off in areas like DNA. We treat scenes many times now, Nancy, those of us that are professionals, as if we're going into surgery. You know, you see us in the Tyvek suits with the hoods on and the gloves and the booties and the mask and all that. Well, there's a reason we do that. It's because the evidence many times is very, very fragile. And when you don't have specific evidence at a scene that's going to point back to something, you know, just like Kohberger.
No eyewitnesses, no confession, nothing, no fingerprints, no footprints, no nothing. And if it had not been for molecular forensic evidence, a quadruple homicide would have.
Thank you, Carrie. And I miss seeing you here. We got to do more cases together. All right, Carrie? More cases together. And I know I was supposed to work on one of the other cases a while back, but I get so caught up in these new cases, it's hard for me to go backwards. So there you go, Jamie. There's Carrie's $2.99 super sticker. If you match that, we've met our goal. There was 10 of them. So you want to match her? And we're good. Who in chat, and I hate to change the subject, guys, but who thinks that Brian Kohberger's, no, it's not a $10 goal. It's 10 donation goal. 10 super stickers, 10 super chats, 10 get memberships, whatever, right? It's not the $9.99, but thank you. All right, let's keep going. I don't care what the family likes or doesn't like, my friends. Somebody needs to be arrested for this soon before they lose evidence and they lose good witnesses. MAB investigates for Turtle Island. Thank you, MAB. We hit our goal. Jamie took it over the top. And you guys, please go to Adalia Uncensored tonight and let's make sure MAB doesn't get kicked on Tuesday. No kick it Tuesday for MAB, all right? We want MAB to win Turtle Island, all right? We want the good guys to win for once. Thank you, Annie. Choo, choo. And we hit our goal. Let's keep going. Does anyone really think Brian Kohberger is innocent?
Gone unsolved. There was no motive. There was no connection that we knew of between Kohberger and his 4 victims. The state was just hanging in the wind. We were gone until people like you came in with
Well, listen, guys, now we're doing a Foxy Box too. We're pretty generous all month long, all week long. We're generous. So thank you, Foxy. You guys will want a Foxy Box. If you're in the green, you could win a Foxy Box. If you're in the green or not in the green, today, I'm going to give you a Guilty of Crime shirt, whether you're a member or not. You just have to win, right? I need to give people that just come support my channel, hit that like button, and show up for me every day. So we're going to give a Foxy Box, and we're going to give a Guilty of Crime shirt coming directly from me. And no, I haven't worn it yet, all right? Here you go. All right, let's go. Let's go. You do want a Foxy Box. Even Deb loves her Foxy Box.
molecular evidence. Think about it. The evidence was found on the snap of the hilt of a knife and got him dead in the water because of molecular evidence. There is no way that investigators on this cruise ship got molecular evidence.
Boop.
No, I just hope that they didn't compromise those things that are there. Sometimes it's better just to keep your hands off, but we know that that didn't happen because, in fact, they have to take care of the body. That goes back to what you said earlier about placing the body in a location that is at minimum cool, hopefully colder, more like what we have actually in the morgue, because at that point in time, we can cease or slow down the process of decomposition, and also it secures the body. How do I know where her remains were on that ship that other people didn't have access to her body? You know, you go to the ME's office and look, you're going to have to pass through several layers or gates of security in order to get access to a body. You're talking about a rolling city here with 5,000 occupants, just like our colleague said earlier, that are in the wind. They're gone.
There were 4,000 occupants here. But guys, I think that we are going to catch our guy. And what's up, April in Illinois? Good to see you, my friend. And you're welcome for the prayers. Listen, if this was her stepbrother and they do have cameras like they should, I have a feeling that they're going to have somebody sooner or later. All right. Yeah, no chain of custody on that body. Say, all right.
Now, Nancy, how are you going to track them down?
Back to Spencer Ehrenfeld.
I don't think this, absolutely do not think this was a random person at all, which will be helpful in this case. Could you imagine if she were messing around with one of the security guards or one of the people on the ship that were working there and they did this to her? Y'all, we might not ever find them because these people just pass through and they might not have a record, no DNA. I don't think that's the case though, guys.
The cruise ship lawyer. Spencer, let me tell you a little story about what happened to us on a Disney cruise through no fault of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So, they have like a tween hangout. I believe it was called The Edge, which is edgy, where like if you're 11, 10 to say 14, you can go there and pretend you're 18, right? And you play games. Believe me, I scoped the whole thing out. They play games. They watch Disney movies, of course. And they have like Kool-Aid and pretzels. And there's a guard at the door, the only entry exit. I checked the whole thing out. So we went on another Disney cruise and Lucy wanted to come back from the Edge and come to the room. So I was already in my pajamas, shorts, and a t-shirt and went to Edge to go get her. I bring her back with strict instructions to John David. Do not leave until I get back. He's like, sure. I go back 45 minutes later, get Lucy all set. He's not there.
And that's why we're not going on a cruise, because Baby Guilty would do the same thing. All right, the parents are being quiet for Anna to have been a victim of a random person or a crew member. Now, the dad's talking quite a bit, and some of the family members are too. There are a few interviews that I have out there, and I wasn't sure if it was included in this episode. That's why I didn't play it separately. But some of the family members are talking, but the ones that are pointing their fingers at the other family members, guys. All right. We like your stories, Nancy, but I really want to know what the experts have to say. Well, you're an expert, but your whole John David thing. Let's see what this says. The death of a guest traveling on the Carnival Horizon is being investigated by the FBI. Our focus is on supporting the family of our guest, and that's a problem. They're trying to support the family, and the family is blaming it on the family that was with her.
Destroys it, loses it, tapes over it. I think the cameras are going to tell a lot of the story of what happened to her.
The
Senior year at Temple Christian, Anna paints her parking spot to match her favorite movie, Clueless, and is ecstatic to be back on the field cheering for the Lions. Licensed to boat and scuba, she enjoys making TikToks with her friends and brother. Anna plans on joining the military. In fact, she's waiting on the results of her ASVAB testing to determine which jobs will suit her best.
Anna's grandparents gift her a spring cruise as an 18th birthday gift. Anna enjoys the experience so much, she books a 6-day trip with stops in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, the Grand Caymans, and Cozumel, Mexico.
Holidays are just
All right, let's go.
3, 4.
I'd be bummed if I introduced her to a cruise and then she died on a cruise.
Had this little girl been dead in her room, if that's where she was actually found?
Lindsay Allison, a passenger staying just down the hall from Anna's room, remembers crew responding to a medical call around 11 a.m. Friday morning.
Security never left. They guarded the room very well.
Though she doesn't know what happened, Allison can imagine the terror that ensues when your vacation turns into a floating prison.
You're out in the middle of the ocean. You can't go anywhere. You can't get on land. You can't flee.
Early Saturday, the last day of the Horizon's voyage, a passenger is found dead. The cruise ship returned.
That gives you a little more, like Creve was saying earlier. On Saturday is when they found her, and there you go. She left dinner early. She said that she wasn't feeling good, and people looked at her social media, and she had been going through some kind of breakup, and so they initially thought she took her own life, but that's not the case, guys. More than likely, if it were her stepbrother, there was some kind of maybe a sexual attraction or something that happened, and it went bad. Saturday was the day you got back. They just said they found her Saturday. Were they wrong there? All right, let's listen real quick. They said they found her Saturday, so they gave it wrong? Hold on. They've said a couple different things, which is weird.
You're out in the middle of the ocean. You can't go anywhere. You can't get on land. You can't flee.
Early Saturday, the last day of the Horizon's voyage, a passenger is found dead. The cruise ship returns to port, asking passengers to disembark quickly. The FBI now investigating the death.
From our friends at Fox 13, another.
So she was found Friday and they boarded on Saturday at the port.
Debacle at sea. A case that may never be solved now of this little cheerleader, eerily reminiscent of the so-called missing groom.
This is Captain Michael. May I get your attention, please? A
They did
person may
great.
have gone overboard last night.
George Smith and his bride spend the night.
And they're kind of just going into a couple other things. I'll play it for a minute because I'm trying to set up our giveaways. They're talking about cruises like this and people that have never been found. Now, again, the stepbrother, stepson, all the kids are minors. They don't even put pictures. We have a picture, but they're not saying much. So they didn't say, well, the stepson did this and he did that and he wasn't there. It's only family members that are speculating at this point. FBI has said nothing. All right, so correct. We got back Saturday morning, and that's when the FBI took over. Mab, were you like on the deadliest catch type of fisherman boat? Did you have to catch these big crabs and almost fall off on the ship every time? You tell me, because the deadliest catch looks terrible. The FBI was at the port waiting for the ship to arrive. My guess is the FBI got on before anyone was allowed off. The ship normally gets there by 6, but doesn't start to debark until custom clears. Okay, thank you. I've never been on a ship like that, and I don't want to. They have a series about people that, yeah, they do. And I've heard of the poop cruise for sure. Glad you didn't go, Emily.
Gambling with friends, they met on the Royal Caribbean's Brilliance of the Seas. When the ship's casino closes, the group heads to the club, but Jennifer leaves after a drunken argument with George. By the time the club closes at 3:30, the young men have to carry George back to his room at 4. Around 4:30, neighbors hear a sickening thud, which investigators believe was George's body slamming against a lifeboat canopy before falling into the ocean below.
I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that my son was murdered on that cruise ship. There's so much evidence. It's overwhelming.
It's just been a complete and awful nightmare for my family.
That last bit from our friends at 48 Hours. I personally investigated the George Smith missing groom case. Joe Scott Morgan, you also have studied the case. I spoke with his mother, his sister at.
Maybe after this episode, you guys will decide, I'm going to go get me an RV or I'm going to fly. Let's skip the cruises. Lacey, hey, y'all, she says. All right.
Length went through all of the evidence. There is no way. Did you know they tried to claim he fell over the rail when the friends that he just met in the bar that night, and they were all drinking absinthe, which, I believe it's outlawed in certain jurisdictions. It's so powerful. Yeah. They left him in his room, and the rail to George Smith's balcony was chest high. And there were several rails, so nobody could just fall over the side. He was thrown overboard, and the evidence is overwhelming that he was murdered. I agree with his mother that you just heard.
Well, for those of you that love cruises and have good experiences with them, keep doing your thing. It's not that often that happens, guys. I was reading the statistics, and the statistics are so low on that actually happening, especially if you pick a cruise line that is not just some booze cruise where they pack you in like sardines and don't really care, right? So the statistics are so low that I wouldn't even worry about it. I just don't want to be on a cruise. So for those that love cruises like Pat and I am Two Bear, keep doing your due. I'll stick to the RV, all right?
Speaking.
No,
but it's never been solved because everyone scattered, as I said, to the four corners of the earth.
Yeah, you take a look just at that image of the blood deposition alone, how is that explained? And again, this is another great example of how can the scene be processed or secured, because I'm not thinking, I misspoke when I said processed. I would not expect security on one of these ships to process a scene, but do they even understand basic scene security, how you lock down an area, once you get there and you understand the value and how delicate this evidence is, to get back to court in order to allow those that are professionals to work the scene, to interpret the scene. So now you've got a fantastical story about this fellow going over this rail that's chest high. These rails are designed this way for a reason. It would take him being propelled in order to get over the side.
All right, so this episode kind of goes on to talk about other cases on cruise ships, but I was also looking around for any updates, and I just want to quickly tell you the only real updates in this particular case are about being stuffed under the bed. Now, the uncle's the one that said that, so right now it's a rumor, but I want to pop that on just for a minute, and I'm going to do a giveaway, so please stay here. This is actually Law & Crime. It came out an hour ago, and they're showing her be transported from the boat, like I showed you earlier, into the medical examiners. I just want to hear what they have to say for a second.
By a TV reporter named Sheldon Fox. He's with WSVN in Miami, and this is of a body being taken off of a Carnival cruise ship called the Horizon on Saturday, November 8th. That body was then taken to the medical examiner's office in Miami-Dade County, Florida. Now, that body is believed to be 18-year-old Anna Kepner. We now know more information that may line up with the timeline that the medical examiner put out about when Anna Kepner died. The ME listed her time of death as 11:17 in the morning on November 7th. That is the day before the Horizon arrived back at port in Miami. According to reports from the Daily Mail, Kepner was on the cruise with her family. That includes her dad and his wife. It is unclear how many other family members were with them on this cruise. The Daily Mail reported.
Well, the reason there's an underbed here, I am Two Bear, is because more than likely that was because there was a family. They talked about having 2 beds and then 2 beds that pull out. So there's always going to be an under a bed when you could just flap your bed down and flap it back up. So it's much different, guys, than some of the other ones that you might have seen. What's up, my friend M? Love you. Michael, good to see you. All right, let's go. I just wanted to hear the new stuff. And yeah, if you're going to go on a cruise, Kristen, I wouldn't go by myself. Just saying.
We spoke to family who claimed that Anna's family took the cruise aboard the Horizon, a massive Carnival cruise ship that can carry roughly 4,000 passengers. It's really a floating city when you think of all the restaurants, the hotel rooms, the places for people to hang out, to have an incredible experience on board for a vacation. And this ship left Miami on a 6-day cruise.
Except when you get trapped on the water, my friend.
After it had stopped in Mexico when something went horribly wrong. Now, Kepner isn't someone who appears to be a person who regularly got in trouble. Quite the opposite, actually. She was a varsity cheerleader, a former gymnast, and she had big plans. When she graduated high school in May, her parents told.
We talked about all that, but I want their breaking news. Come on.
7th, Kepner's dad and his wife met up for breakfast, but there was no sign of Anna.
Okay, so that gives you a good idea of what's happened here. She didn't show up to breakfast. They did. They're blurring everyone's faces out, but they're there, guys.
Kepner. Her body was found at 11 o'clock that morning in her cabin. Her body was found reportedly by a maid when the maid entered the room to service it. Now, according to the Daily Mail, which claims to have spoken to 2 anonymous sources, Kepner's body, quote, was found wrapped in a blanket, covered over with life jackets, and stuffed under a bed. Now, as a reminder, we do not know the condition Anna's body was in, and the FBI has not confirmed anything about whether foul play is involved in.
So that was it, guys. They have the same update. They made a whole episode about the update that I just gave you. And the update that I gave you was the post from X. I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to give stuff away. So if y'all just rolled in, this case has been going we're on the 10th day. The 11th will be tomorrow. And it just came out. There's lots of rumors, but the big rumor that came out was from this particular post of the uncle that claims to know more than he should, right? Martin Donahue's. Let me read it real quick. Martin says, I need everyone's help on this. If you haven't heard this story, then you've been living under a rock. This is my niece, Anna Kepner. She was 18 and was on a cruise with her dad, stepmom, and other family members. I cannot stay silent about this matter any longer. The stepmom's son killed her, stuffed her naked, beaten body in a sheet, and stuffed her under a bed and covered her with life jackets. Then slept on that bed like nothing happened. He told his stepmom when no one could find Anna on the ship. So they know who did this, and it sickens me that the father, Chris, remains silent about it. Please pass this on till maybe it gets to someone that can do something about it. If nothing's done, it will all come out on the 20th. That's 2 days from now, guys, when the stepmom has said that after the family, before the celebration of life. If nothing's done, it will come out on the 20th. At least that's what the stepmom has said after treating the family. If they talk before, that they will be banned from the remembrance of life for Anna. Please pass this so my family can get closure and the people who did this and lied and staled to tell the rest of what's happened when it did. Now you just all look guilty of a cover up. Now, this came out at 4:12 a.m. yesterday, and it's been spreading like a wildfire. So that was the major update today. If you look before that, you couldn't find anything on it because it said she possibly took her own life. This is a family member. This is her uncle, you guys, and that's the family she was with. So the person that posted this, his name is Martin Donahue, and that's her uncle. If you read this, if he says this is my niece Anna, then that means it's his uncle or her uncle. All right, it's being taken seriously and it's spreading like a wildfire. I'm sure they're waiting on the DNA. They absolutely look guilty of a crime, and those are the family members that she was with. All right, two of those are her stepbrothers, and I'm going to bet those two stepbrothers are right there. All right. Maybe it was the taller one. I don't know. I'm speculating. They're not releasing names or much information because they're minors. But anyhow, if you've been following this case or you haven't been following this case, that's where we are right now. Terry says someone posted a message from her mother, and her mother says she knows your ex-husband's family, and that's not her uncle. And that's why I say this is all fueled by rumor right now. And well, News Nation just came out with the portion of it about her being stuffed under a bed. We didn't even know that. And we don't know anything about the brother, the family that we don't know. We're going to speculate if I start giving you guys ages and stuff. Now, Kathy has to go to bed, but we're going to do a giveaway right now, Kathy. So stay here. Creve says, if the stepbrother did it, then this is super tragic for the family. They lost Anna, and the stepson will have lost their freedom. And listen, if the family members know about it, like if he had told the mom, then she's going to be held on contempt as well because she's covering for him. And allegedly, he told his mom what happened, and they're lying about it. That's the speculation right now. All right. So, guys, I think I gave you a complete story. I hope. If you haven't heard about this case, you heard about it now, and we're going to keep up to date on it. But right now, we're going to give away. We're going to start with the Guilty of Crime shirt that anybody can win, whether you're a member or not. And then we're going to give a Foxy Box. You got to be in the green, and you got to be in the United States, unless you want to pay for your shipping because it's expensive. All right. And I hope that too, Lacey. I really hope that too. But a lot of times cases are fueled by things like that, right? So let's give stuff away, guys. We hit our goal. Thank you so much. That's what keeps our channel going, is to get our goals up and keep it going, have you guys here. So first, I'm going to give out this Guilty of Crime shirt, and whether you're in green or not, as long as you're in the United States, I'll ship it to you tomorrow with the Madeline Soto shirt that I'm shipping out. All right, and then we'll do a Foxy Box. So let's go, guys. Anybody can win this one, no matter if you're in the green or you're not. Just to say thank you for supporting Guilty of Crime. All right. All right. Here we go. Let's see Let's see who's going to win this shirt. Good luck, everyone. Anyone could win, and then we'll give out a Foxy box. It doesn't look like we made the goal for an ornament today, but Dale, I would love to give Dale this Guilty of Crime shirt. And you know what, guys? This Guilty of Crime shirt, it's my just old school, my favorite logo of Guilty of Crime. All right, Dale, are you here? Dale, if you're here and you're in the United States, you win. If you're not here and you have no idea and you're not coming up, I got to re-give it out because I don't know if you're going to roll up and even know that we won this. So, Dale, Dale's here. All right, Dale. And Jay, the Italian cookie. Hallelujah for a new roof. And your family, hallelujah. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to be dry this year, guys. It's been almost 2 years since we've been able to have a freaking roof on our house. But finally, the roof is all done. We're putting the solar back up today. We're broke for the holidays, but we're going to be dry. So thank you and God bless you. All right, Dale, I saw you back there. Dale. Where's my guy, Dale, or my girl? That could be a name either way. All right, listen. Here's my email, Dale. Please send me an email to guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. Right there, guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. And you're going to win this Guilty of Crime shirt. And now we're doing a Foxy Box member appreciation. All right, we're going to give that away. Again, I don't know if Dale, if you're a female or a male, but either way, here we go. Doesn't matter to me. All right. Like $5 from Dale. Sheba dog bowing respectfully. I love it. All right, guys, let's do this again. I'm gonna completely wipe this so that we don't nobody cheats here, and we're gonna give out a Foxy box. I do love being generous with all of you guys. I was hoping that I'd get Melissa Johnson on here today. I know she struggles financially, and I was wondering if she needs help with Thanksgiving this year. So let's see when we talk to Melissa again. Vanessa Maldonado. Now, Vanessa, I'm not sure if you're in green, and I'm not sure if you won a Foxy box before, but can somebody in chat, can one of my mods tell me, or Foxy, you'd be able to tell me, Foxy, has Vanessa won a Foxy box recently? And yeah, let's get those likes up, guys. We had like 180 people in here. All right, so Vanessa is in green, and as long as Vanessa didn't win a Foxy box recently, then you won a Foxy box. All right, congratulations to Vanessa. Please email guiltyofprizes@gmail.com. You're in the green, Lynn. You're in the green. All right, so you're the winner today for the Foxy box, and Dale, you're the winner of the Guilty of Crime shirt. If you can do me a huge favor, Dale, and email me so I can ship your shirt out tomorrow, along with the Madeline Soto shirt that I'm also shipping out tomorrow as well. All right, so I've got 2 shirts going out tomorrow. The last one that won the Madeline Soto. What's up, Miss Horn? Good to see you. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Much love to you and huge prayers as usual. All right, yeah, congrats to everybody. Dale, please email me today, guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. That way I can get you your shirt tomorrow. All right, jealousy and revenge. That's probably why the kid did such a beautiful aspiring on the verge of our life. Why would we do this? Exactly. That's why we're here. That's why we can't help not talking about this. I didn't enter because I won the shirt. Well, thank you, Mary Beth. Thank you. All right, the only way that you can win, yeah, do it in a bit. Do it as long as you do it today, then I can get your shirt mailed to you by tomorrow. If you don't do it today, then it might not get out till next week. All right. So thank you guys for being here. We will definitely keep up on this case. Thank you, Kathy. Let's wish Mab good luck on Turtle Island. Let's go over to Dolly Vision, Dolly Uncensored, and vote for Mab to win. All right, Miss Anhorn, I hope to see you on there later with Jennifer B. All right, and all y'all, thank you for all the love, all the support, and just coming through every day. All right, thank you so much. Oh, you're on there too. Let's keep Mab and Miss Ann Horn on the island and let's kick the rest out of here. All right. My mom says, good luck, Mab. And Mom, I got your Madeline Soto shirt for you next time I see you. Dolly Vision, Dolly Uncensored will be on in less than an hour. Turtle Island comes on at 6:30 my time, 9:30 Eastern. I'm in California. Love you. Get us over that order, and I can help you, all right, to get shipped to your country. Right? Hotel and Crime Con, it's in Las Vegas, and I don't know the hotel because I'm not staying in a hotel. So I don't know. If anybody knows the hotel for Crime Con, let Corinne know. All right? All right, guys. Love you all. Wish you the best of luck, Mab, Miss Anhorn, and all the good folks. Have a good one. I'll see you all tomorrow. A 3-hour show tonight? Oh, boy. All right. Well, let's go. Love you guys, and thanks for the support. See you tomorrow or on Dolly Vision tonight. Good night. Love you. Thank you.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?